Hi there, my name is Habiba. Obviously, I'm doing my PowerPoint on criminal psychology, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in and get started. Like I said again, my name is Habiba Lindsay. A couple of things about me. I just got married a few months ago. Well, obviously I'm the bride. My husband on the left side there, his name is John. He's super cute and handsome. I'm a sophomore in college now. My declared major is psychology, and I just want to say right up front, I didn't choose psychology just because of Criminal Minds, though I love it with a fiery passion. It is awesome. Um, but I've always just really liked the field, so I'm going to go in depth and a little more. So like it kind of mentioned in the book, one of the reasons was I have a very strong interest in psychology. I just feel like understanding people and what they do and why they do it, I just think it's kind of awesome. And I put this one in there just to show that I didn't choose it just because it's an easy major. I know there's lots of work involved, and I know there's lots of learning, but I think that's really a big part of why I like it as well. Because the more I learn about it, the more I'm just really fascinated. Um, and I didn't go into psychology just specifically because of a bachelor's degree that'll prepare me for a better job or for a different job. But I do think having a bachelor's degree in psychology is good just to be a well-rounded person, even into a few other occupations that I was looking into. Psychology and just having a basic knowledge of that was really, really helpful there. And so the reason I chose that as opposed to other things like forensic technician, forensic psychologist, criminologist. I really had to learn like the terminologies there. So basically, with a forensic technician, or from what I've learned, a lot of it is having to do with behind the scenes, kind of in the labs, and just figuring out experimental things, I guess. Forensic psychology, that's actually more in the legal system, and so you're going to be in courts testifying a little bit of what you learned, etc. And a criminologist, that's also, pretty much in the legal system there. You're kind of figuring out why there are certain causes for crimes and what can we do to prevent crimes, but that doesn't have much to do with the actual psychology behind it. So that's why criminal psychology was the actual title that I was really interested in. So basically, some of the things that are included there, just studying the thoughts, the intentions, motivations, and even reactions of criminals. And so I'm just like really getting down, like picking apart why they're doing what they're doing and what made them get to that point where it's justified, things like that. There was a man that I had just kind of researched a little bit. His name was Johnny Douglas. He is now retired, but he was a special agent profiler. He had written a few books on criminal psychology. Basically, what it said he did was examined crime scenes and created profiles of the perpetrators, describing their habits and attempting to predict their next moves. In cases where his work helped to capture the criminals, he built strategies for interrogating and prosecuting them as well. So I think it's amazing how he not only knew a little bit about them, but because he had strategies, he knew how to approach them as well in the best way possible. And there are four kind of subdivisions under criminal psychology that I was learning about. So clinical kind of went into the, I'm trying to explain this here, how do you say, it's more assessing their capacities, I guess. Like if someone is in court and you're seeing how can you process this person, if they're able to stand up to trial, things like that. With experimental, that was more seeing the capabilities if someone could lift a body or could see a certain distance or had certain abilities. Actuarial, that was more along the lines of predicting the statistics if someone were to reoffend. Um, Also, that involves being in courts. My favorite, though, was the advisory, and that kind of helps law enforcement advising them on how to approach a certain person, approach a certain case, how to give them tips on interviewing skills when approaching this person. So I think that's super cool. That was the one that I had the best interest in. For the education, obviously, past this point, it's definitely a bachelor's degree, hands down. Um, but a lot of people were looking at doctorates, obviously, and just having more experience is great. And the income also kind of reflected this. The median was about $80,000, but the top 25% and the high 25% from what I was reading was about $65,000 per year, going up to $100,000 per year. So it really depends on how high your degree level is and how many years of experience you kind of had under your belt there. And just basic knowledge of law and government, computer skills, clerical skills, and sociology and anthropology. Just kind of seeing how people react in groups. The next thing, like how this relates to my 4-year plan, I do plan to take more psych classes. I haven't gotten too deep into it, but I want to do abnormal psych, developmental psych, lifespan, maybe even child development. But I also want to keep it really flexible for what I might do in the future. Um, I really, really, really want to pursue psychology, and I just love it so much. I am trying to think in the future, though, how I could accomplish this and balance family life. That's really important to me, so I also want to choose something that can make me a well-rounded person without having to put family on the side there. So basically, that's everything I've researched. I actually learned a ton, and so I'm very happy to, do this presentation for y'all. Hope I didn't take too long. Thank you though for watching, and good luck in class.